Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are gonna do another Cozy Talks video where I am going to talk about games that I would like to play in 2024. The list that I have in front of me kind of consists of games that I definitely for sure want to play, and then I have some shout outs of games that I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna have time to play them, but they're definitely on my radar because I'm intrigued enough. And some of the games on here too are either rumored or they're probably not coming out in 2024, but I did want to mention them anyway. I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to go down the list. I'm not going to specifically be very detailed about any game in particular, or try not to, just because I have quite a few on here and I just want to get through the list and spark a discussion if anyone else is also interested in these games. Let's just get right into it. First, to start off with, I'm gonna start talking about games that I for sure want to play. And after I talk about all those, I'm gonna get into some shoutouts that are definitely intriguing me. To start the list off, I have Persona 3 Reload. If you guys don't know already, I made a first Cozy Talks video talking just about Persona 3 Reload and my thoughts on it so far before the game comes out. So please check that video out if you would like to hear a more detailed version of what I think on that game. But nonetheless, I am so excited. I'm a huge Persona fan, if you guys don't know already. So the fact that a remake version of Persona 3 is going to be coming out very, very soon, February 2nd to be exact, I am just head over heels, very, very excited to dive into it. They have some changes in there or some added content that wasn't in the original Persona 3 or Persona 3 Fez or portable versions of that game. So I'm really, really excited to just be able to experience those for myself. And that's why I've been stopping watching a lot of trailers for the game, and I haven't even seen the opening movie for Persona 3 Reload because I just want it all to be a surprise when I first play it. The next really, really excited, oh my gosh, I am I don't know how to even express how excited I am, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out at the end of February. I would say more recently, starting from last year, become a Final Fantasy fan. I went through a little journey where I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, I played Crisis Core, I played Final Fantasy 16, so I'm building my little list of Final Fantasy games, and I do want to play older ones as well now, but I've fallen in love, and I did try to start the Final Fantasy VII original, no mods or anything, but it's been such a fun time. I'm loving the original game just as much. I stopped at the Midgar section just because I think I'm going to keep it on pause until I play Rebirth, and then I'll come back to it and see what the differences are, but I am just so incredibly hyped. I think because there's just so much mystery and so much what the frick is going to happen in that game that my interest is just at an all-time high. I love the characters in that game so much, and I'm just so excited to be swept off my feet because I genuinely feel that's what's going to happen. I think I'm also going to cry a lot when I play that game, and I'm definitely going to play it on stream so I can hang out with a bunch of other people that are really excited for that game. So I'm just I'm so hyped. I don't know how else to express it. Next, though, I have Princess Peach Showtime. I feel like they announced this during the Nintendo Direct. I think the last one. I am just really excited to have a Princess Peach game. I know there was one back on the DS that I never got to play, but we get to see Princess Peach center stage again, no pun intended, because this time it looks like she is going to be at the theater, and she's going to be able to wear these different costumes as she goes throughout the levels, and it gives her different abilities and different powers of some sort. But it just looks really cute. I'm really excited to give it a try, to be honest, and I just love Nintendo and Mario games, of course, so I'm just really, really hyped to be able to have another little platformy kind of game. Next, I have Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Oh my gosh, I am so freaking excited. I can't tell you guys how many times I have said on my streams, just to people in my life in general, how I want a Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake or remaster. I need something. I need it ported to Switch. Literally, I wanted anything. I love the Paper Mario series, and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is my favorite one. So when it got announced that they're actually going to be, I think remaking it, or I honestly don't remember, but it's one of those. I was so excited. Luckily, I was able to react to it on stream one time, so my whole reaction, just you could see it there, that I just I was honestly flabbergasted they were going to do it because I have been asking it for so long, and it surprised me honestly that it was even announced in the first place. But it's my favorite Paper Mario. I haven't played it in so many years. Honestly, I don't think I've played it since the GameCube when it first came out on that. So it's been quite a long time. But I love RPGs, and Paper Mario is definitely up my alley. And I can't wait for other people who have never played it, Paper Mario in general, and especially if they haven't played Thousand Year Door, to finally get their hands on it because it's such a good game. But yeah, I'm just like really happy to play that one at some point. Next, I have Little Nightmares 3. You know, I never really play scary or like creepy games. It's not really my thing. I have, but Little Nightmares has like a special place in my heart for me. I remember, I think I just bought Little Nightmares 1 when it was on sale one time just to try it out because I've heard such amazing things about it, and I've never looked back ever since. I played Little Nightmares 2. I had such a good time. The storytelling and the creepy atmosphere of those games, it's really fun. And like, I don't even like getting chased in games. For some reason, I think the puzzle aspect of those games really is a fun thing to do. And because you have this like pressure of like either when you are getting chased in those games or you're just trying to figure out like, how do I get out of this weirdo place? Why are we here? Just really is like super intriguing. It kind of gives me like Tim Burton feels as well, if you've ever seen any of those movies. But Little Nightmares 3 is, I hope, coming out in 2024. And it looks like it's actually going to have co-op this time, which just makes it even more fun that I get to play it with a friend. So yeah, I'm super excited about that game. Next, I have The Wolf Among Us 2. My best friend mentioned The Wolf Among Us about 2 years ago to me, and she was like so shocked that I had never even played it before. I had heard about it, but I just never played it. So she definitely made me get the game. She was like, you're gonna play this game right now. And I'm happy that she did. The Wolf Among Us was such a good time. I love games that are like visual novel-esque and you kind of get to like make choices and see what those choices turn into. Sometimes you get punished and sometimes there are very good decisions that you're making, but it always feels good because there's so many different routes that you can go. So it definitely has replayability. But Wolf Among Us was really striking and like super fun because if you're like me, you love fantasy, you love, you know, all your like fairy tale characters and creatures. And so seeing that there was a game that brought all of them into this one world, and it's a more like gritty, more grungy, more like realistic kind of world, and placing these fairy tale characters in that just made the whole story premise like super entertaining for me. So when Wolf Among Us 2 finally got announced, I don't know, I think it's been in development for quite a while, to be honest. It really sparked my interest. Like, I'm very interested to see where the story goes in the next chapters for this. But, you know, sadly, I think it must be getting delayed or something because we have not heard anything about Wolf Among Us 2 for quite a while. And I think the last trailer that came out for it said that it was going to be like late 2023, but obviously that hasn't happened. So hopefully we get more information. If anything, the best scenario would be that the game does come out in 2024. So I'm definitely praying for the best. Next, I have Fallout 3 Remastered. This one in particular is more of a rumor. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but this is if it happens, then I definitely want to play it in 2024. I have actually only played Fallout 4 and I really enjoyed my time for it. I bought it on release day. I remember I downloaded it at midnight and I played it for hours when I first downloaded it. I don't have my own consensus over the other Fallout games, but I do have Fallout New Vegas that I really want to try. I just got to find time to start it. But it's crazy to me because I just love the atmosphere and the environments that Fallout gives, and I think mixing that apocalyptic world with like a 1920s 1950s kind of like era is just really fun. The music in those games are like so good. I've even gone on YouTube and just listened to the radios from the other games as well because I just really enjoy the music. But yeah, I'm really excited to be able to play Fallout 3 for the first time, especially if it's remastered. I've been keeping it on hold since I have heard about this possibly happening, and I really hope it happens. You know, and it's crazy to me because I've been trying to talk about Fallout with other people in my life, and all of them don't like Fallout. They were like, oh, I couldn't get into it and and I'm sitting there like, you can't? Like, wait, what? Why? So like, I'm honestly curious because I know a lot of people love Skyrim, and that's another game I do have in my backlog. Again, just need to find time to start it, but I'm really excited to play that at some point too. Fallout is kind of like Skyrim, other than it's just not medieval. It's apocalyptic, and that's kind of cool, ain't it? But yeah, I just want to search for some like Nuka-Colas and find some interesting storylines to play through, because I've heard Fallout 3 definitely has some good side quests and good characters within it. So I really hope it does happen, because I really want to play it. Next, I have Judas. Judas was a game that was announced 2 years ago now, I believe, at the 2022 Game Awards. I don't think it is coming out in 2024, if I'm being honest with you, but I at least hope I get more information about it. I am such a huge BioShock fan. It is one of my all-time favorite games to ever come out in my existence so far, and I've replayed probably BioShock 4 times now. Played BioShock 2 a few times, BioShock Infinite also I think like 3 times or something like that, but I just really love it. And I had been waiting for such a long time for Ken Levine to, you know, come out with something else, work on something else, whatever the case may be, because I just really love the atmospheres and the environment of BioShock, and I just wanted another game that really grasps that. And I was so happy, and I was freaking out when Judas got announced the first time. I was crying because I'm just that excited for Ken Levine to be working on something. But yeah, it looks like a pretty interesting story. Obviously, we don't know much about it as of right now, other than, you know, we're gonna see some choices that we get to make in Judas and see if that affects us in a positive or negative way. But of course, I'm already intrigued because I know Ken Levine's working on it. I'm also just intrigued because I kind of expect the environments and the atmosphere of Judas to be something that I'm really interested in. And I hope that they capture that so much. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of mention that game because I'm just so flippin' excited for it. The next game that I have on here is Paralives. I love my little simulators, if you will, or my little sim games. I have been a fan of The Sims in general for such a long time. I played The Sims 1 when I definitely should not be able to. I remember I went to a Costco with my grandpa when I was a little kid when The Sims came out, and I think they had the expansion for Hot Date, and for whatever reason, I was a little kid being like, Grandpa, I want this game. And he was like, I am not gonna buy you that. So I got Superstar instead, the one that's like famous people and you get to work at the movies and stuff like that. But nonetheless, like, I'm super excited for Paralives to come out. It looks like it's gonna be a little bit of a competitor for The Sims, but I'm very open to like just different kind of like life simulations and life sims to be coming out, just because like played The Sims for such a long time. The Sims 4 has been out for such a long time, and I just kind of want something new, if I'm being honest. And Paralives looks like it's going to be pretty customizable, pretty creative. It's been being worked on for a very long time, so I have no idea if it is even coming out in 2024, but I'm hoping that development for that game is shaping up to be something that hopefully the developers are happy with. So yeah, I'm just more than happy to like see the development of Paralives keep continuing, and hopefully we get to see something more soon about like the gameplay of that. But nonetheless, I'm very excited. Next, I have Brothers. This is another game my same best friend had recommended to me, and I'm so happy she did once again. Brothers is such an interesting game. It's a short and sweet game, but it is so fun because it was this experience where me and her were both playing. I got to control one brother, she controls the other brother, and we had to, you know, do all these puzzles throughout the story to like see what this tale is going to do for them. And essentially, Brothers, I don't know, I was honestly shocked that they're making a remake. Like, me and her both, when we watched the Game Awards 2023, we were like, wait, what? Brothers is getting a remake? So I'm just really excited to dive into it again. Again, it's like a short and sweet game, so I definitely recommend it for anybody who just wants something short and sweet. It's definitely a story that can be emotional, so be aware of that, but I think the story is so good, and I'm just really excited to be able to play it again, especially with like the new graphics and all that sort. And you know, I don't know if they've added anything else to the game, but hopefully they have, or added maybe like a longer story for all I know. I'm not really sure, so I'm super excited to get back into that. Next, I have Lost Record Bloom and Rage. This also just got announced at the 2023 Game Awards, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Dontnod has made the Life is Strange series, and I'm such a big fan. Again, I love games that are like very story heavy, where I get to make decisions and see how the story plays out. So this is just 100% up my alley. Life is Strange was such a banger when it first came out, and I've played every single one of them. Lost Record, I can't wait to hear a little bit more about it. Obviously not too much information because I want to be a little bit more surprised or have no clue of what's happening, but it does seem like it's going to be like a group of friends who were younger. They maybe something happened, and then years later whatever did happen is surfacing back up into their lives, and they're gonna have to deal with it. So I'm just very, very intrigued to see like what the story is going to be. If there's gonna be supernatural abilities in it, I'm curious to see what that's gonna be. So I'm just very, very excited. Lastly, in my games for sure I would like to play is Eastward Octopia. This is a DLC for the main game Eastward, which I do still need to play. It's been in my backlog, it's been on my wish list for Steam for such a long time, and I'm definitely going to get it. The art style itself just like really draws me in. I love pixel art. I love very like old looking games, especially like when they try to modernize them. One of those being like Octopath Traveler 2. Oh my god, that game is so gorgeous. I love that game so much. But Eastward Octopia looks like it's going to be a DLC / expansion that you get to have for Eastward, and it looks like it's very based on like a farming sim, and as I said earlier, I love my simulation games, and farming is definitely up my alley. I love Palia, I love Stardew Valley. Coral Island is another one that I really want to get into. Eastward Octopia just looks like it's going to be another cute little farming sim that I get to play, and I'm just really excited to hopefully get to play that at some point in 2024. So now quickly, I'm just going to go through some shout outs of games that I think are coming out in 2024 that are just like piquing my interest. I don't know if I'll have time to play them or if I'm 100% sold on them yet, but I definitely have my eyes out for them regardless, for whatever those reasons may be. The first one's going to be Dragon's Dogma 2. I've heard such great things. Oh my gosh, great things about Dragon's Dogma, and I honestly didn't even know that Capcom made a game like this to begin with. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is more recent for me, but I love RPGs, and that already like puts it up in my radar to begin with. But I've heard about the pawn system in Dragon's Dogma, and that alone just sounds really interesting to me. So when Dragon's Dogma 2 does come out, I definitely want to see people play it, and I'll probably base my, reason of playing off of that. So I'm really excited for it to come out and to see what people think about it. Next, I have Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. In general, I have been very interested to get myself into the Yakuza series. It just seems like such a wacky time, and honestly, I love games that differ from the norms, if you will. So Like a Dragon is just shaping up to be something that looks super fun to me. I love the kookiness, the craziness, and hopefully I would like to play other Yakuza games before I play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or at least whatever games I would maybe need to play in order to kind of understand what's going on before playing this one. But it's another RPG, so of course it's up my alley, as you guys know already. But yeah, I'm just really excited for it, and I hope that other people are as well. Next, I have Black Myth Wukong. So the reason I'm into this game so much is I have been playing a lot of Liza P recently over on my Twitch channel, and I've been loving Liza P so much. It's my first attempt at like a Souls-like game, so I never used to be into like even wanting to try them out, but for some reason Liza P stood out to me, and because I've been loving it so much, Black Myth Wukong is also just like looking very interesting to me. I put it in my maybe want to play games because obviously I'm not really sure, but I really want to see people play it and make my judgments based off of that, and hopefully give it a shot at some time. But nonetheless, it looks really cool. Next is really interesting to me. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it, but there's a game called Pal World. Again, I haven't heard a lot from it in a while, but I think it's going to be early access in 2024, but correct me if I'm wrong. Pal World is interesting. It looks like it's nonetheless, it looks like it's a game that is with Pokemon-esque looking characters or creatures that have weapons, and it's multiplayer. I don't know who came up with this idea, but I'm also not shocked that someone came up with this idea. I haven't seen much or heard much other than what we've already been told and what's on the Steam page for it, but when it comes out, I'm very interested to see people play it and kind of get a gist of what that is or what the gameplay is going to be like, which is why it's in my maybe pile, because I don't really know if I will play it, but I definitely have my eyes on it out of curiosity. curiosity. Next, I have a game called Nightingale. Nightingale, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it ever since it first got announced. I don't even know 100% all the information that is on this game, but I remember writing it down because it did look interesting to me environmentally. I believe it's also going to be a multiplayer game, so that also just piques my interest because it's more games that I could try playing with friends, because I play a lot of like single player games. It's more the route I like to go to. I love story driven RPG, kind of like I'm gonna sit down and be a little potato in my chair at my desk and play games till I never sleep again. That's at least a life I honestly would love to have, but you know, work and duty calls. But Nightingale, I don't know, it just looks really, really fun. It looks like it's kind of like a survival-esque kind of game, but again, I'm not too sure. I think it's going to be early access as well for 2024, so I have my eyes peeled just because I do want to see more from it. I'm very interested nonetheless. Next, I have Rise of the Ronin. Environmentally, this game looks really, really interesting. It also just in general, I feel like story-wise seems really interesting. It's very historical looking, and that just intrigues me on its own. The combat as well just seems to be like pretty interesting and really fluid, so I'm just curious to see people play it and see what I think about it after the fact. But yeah, I'm really excited for that game as well. Next, I have a game called Pacific Drive. I don't know too much about this game either, but it intrigued me enough because it looks like almost like a car simulator where you're kind of driving around and you're making decisions based off of what's going on during your drive, and it kind of looks supernatural-esque as well. So I don't know, I'm pretty excited to go through it. I want to see more from it, so I'm happy and like interested to hear what other people may think about it once it does come out. Lastly, I have Hellblade. I might say this wrong, I'm so sorry. Hellblade Senua's Saga. They've been talking about this a lot. I've seen it pop up at a few different like presentations and stuff of that sort. So I'm pretty excited to see what this game has to offer. I know I've heard some people talk about the first Hellblade, I believe, and it's very psychological, emotional drama from what I gather. So that's kind of piqued my interest enough. And just the visuals alone have like really interested me. Like it seems like this girl is going through something. So I'm kind of interested to see what people have to say about it, and I might even go back and play first Hellblade just because of that. But yeah, that's kind of my whole list of games that I would like to play in 2024. I am super excited for this year of gaming, and I want to know what the rest of you guys, whoever is watching this video, what you guys think about any games coming out this year. Maybe they're completely different games than what I've listed, so I want to know what's happening. If you guys also don't know, I do stream over on twitch.tv/HighLiamB, so you can always check us out over there as well if you want to just hang out and play some video games. That's honestly all we do over there, but I love playing so many different things that like it's just so hard for me to like be able to play everything. So that's why I have my eye on quite a few this year. But thank you guys so much if you got to the end of this video, and I hope I get to see you next time.